If I told you, if I told you just half of everything I've always wanted to.
Welcome back, Camille. As you guys know, I'm currently going through a breakup, and like I said, the last few weeks have been pretty hard, but I feel like I'm starting to feel better. So I thought I would share with you guys what's been helpful for me and take you along with me on a day of just taking care of myself. Because it really is all about self-love. And I feel like that's a word that gets thrown around a lot, but we don't really talk about how to do that. Because in theory, it's like, yeah, I love myself. There was a point where I hated myself, and I'm definitely not there anymore. So I'd say I love myself pretty well. But what's helped me put it in perspective is loving myself the way I wish I could love that person, and loving myself the way I wish that person would love me. So if you haven't read up about the different love languages, I highly recommend it. But basically, the 5 ways that you express that you love someone: words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, gift giving, and physical touch. So first off, identifying which of those are really important to you, and then thinking, how can I do that for myself? So for gift giving, that would be going out and buying yourself something just cause. Quality time, going and taking yourself out on a date. Acts of service, which is simply just finally doing the dishes you've been avoiding, making yourself breakfast. Words of affirmation, just writing down or even saying out loud things that you almost wish other people would say to you. Things that you see in yourself that you really love. Physical touch is hard, but thankfully I have Ozzy and I have my daughters, and just loving on them fulfills that need for me. And when you're first trying to love yourself, it can feel cheesy and stupid, and it's like, I don't want that. I want someone else to give that to me. But to be able to fill all those needs for yourself is a very powerful thing. And when you're doing these things for yourself, these acts of love, you can't just go through the motions of it. You really have to be intentional in the same way you would if you were doing that for a partner. You know, putting love into it. Because you can wake up and be tired and grumpy and make yourself breakfast because you have to eat. Or you can take your time with it, really make it the best that you can, work on the presentation, put that extra effort in that you would put in for someone else, and put that effort into everything that you do for yourself. Just try to be mindful in every moment of your day and everything you do. Putting effort into taking care of your body is a huge thing for me, because not only does it just make me physically feel better, but it's also just really rewarding at the end of the day to be like, I took really good care of myself today. I worked out, I drank water, I ate healthy meals, I took care of my mind, I journaled, I read a book. And a huge thing that's been helping me make sure I do all those things, 3 weeks ago I downloaded a habit tracker app. This is completely not sponsored, but I have a list of just daily tasks to do for myself. And most days I don't do all of them. But to first off, just keep track of your progress, I find it to be really helpful to physically see how well you're taking care of yourself, and it helps prevent things from just falling through the cracks. Anyone can say, I want to meditate every day, but unless you're looking at that reminder, you're not going to, or at least that's how I function. So here's what's on my list: drink 90 ounces of water, make my bed, stretch, eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat dinner, ride my bike, do the dishes, read a book, write something, could literally be anything, do my skincare twice a day, shower, post on TikTok, and go outside. And like I said, it's not every day that I do every single one of those things, but when I do, there's confetti all over my screen, and that's really fun. And I just feel really good. And when I do most of them, I feel really good. And even when I only do a few of those things, it's still like, I have something to show for today. Even though I was really sad and depressed and I laid in bed and cried, I still drank my water. I got that going for me. So yeah, I'm gonna head out. We're gonna try and get some of those things done. First, I have a chiropractor appointment. The other day I was with my sisters and their boyfriends, and they were talking about how they crack each other's backs all the time. And I was just like, I got a new chiropractor. But that's another way that I'm just looking out for me. I'm excited for the day that Coco's old enough to crack my back though. I haven't eaten breakfast yet, so I think I'm gonna take myself out for breakfast after. Let's do it. The chiropractor went well. I love going there. It's so fun. I'm definitely one of those people that loves to like crack all my bones. So it was very satisfying for a professional to really knock it out of me. And then I got some clean juice. I have one last sip. And then I went to the bookstore and I got myself this book, Spirit Listography, My Inner Self in Lists. I'm definitely a list person. They had a ton of different listography books. There was one about music, one about films, one about traveling, and it basically is just list prompts. So this page is things to improve, nice things about me, inner self, outer self, things that I miss, values that are most important to me, just a bunch of lists. And I figured on days when I can't think of anything myself to write, it'd be easy to just pull that out and make a list. But I did already write today while I was eating my breakfast. Just wrote a little something about past, present, and future, and how so much is out of our control. I've been writing a lot of things that I know I need to hear often, so it helps for me to go back and read those things. I'll often write while I'm in like a more logical headspace, so that way when I am kind of in my feelings or in my anxiety, I can look back on what I wrote and what is logical and just give myself those reminders. That's a major thing with this breakup for me. Cognitively, I have burned that bridge. I'm moving on. I know it's over, and I know that there's only so much you can gain from dwelling on it. I think it's important to learn lessons from the past, and you can only do that when you really process all of it, but you don't want to get lost in that. So cognitively, I'm in a good place with the breakup. But emotionally and the way that I'm feeling, just because I know that it's the right thing doesn't necessarily mean that I feel that all the time. So especially working through this, when I'm in that state of just running on feelings, I try to let myself feel it, but then reminding myself of those truths. But yeah, I did my journaling for the day. I ate breakfast. Unfortunately, it is raining, so I will not be going on a bike ride today, nor will I be going outside. So I'm just gonna head back home for now. Really nice little stretch. I've been stretching pretty much every day for about a month, and I am so much more flexible now. I always just feel so relaxed afterwards. It's kind of a hard habit to get into, to do every single day, but out of all the habits I've been trying to keep track of lately, that's definitely one of the ones where I notice a difference when I don't do it. Some of my habits are like, ugh, have to do that, but now I actually like want to stretch. I have some lunch plans in about 30 minutes. That's another thing, just being around people. When you're newly single, it can feel very lonely because you're used to having that person. I make it a point every day to talk to someone that's not Coco and Didi. I try to go hang out with people as often as I can, but if not, just giving a friend a call and having someone to tell about your day and what's going on. But yeah, today I'm going to get lunch with my mom, my uncle, my sister, and my sister's boyfriend. So that should be fun, and while I wait, I'm gonna read. I'm currently reading The Fifth Agreement. I've already read the Fourth Agreement. The Fifth Agreement just kind of reiterates everything from the Fourth Agreement and then adds an additional agreement onto that. So if you're wanting to read one or the other. I recommend just reading the 5th one. I wish I read this one first, but I very highly recommend this book. It has changed my life for sure. I first read it almost a year ago, but I'm yet to get to the 5th agreement. So they made a whole nother book about it. Hopefully that is just as life-changing. We're back at my mom's house and we're gonna do a tarot reading. I'm really excited. I need guidance. We have the third eye chakra incense burning, which is all about seeing the bigger picture. We have our crystals. I think we should set some crystals out.
Yeah, we'll definitely pick out some crystals. So my favorite crystals to do for a tarot card reading are the clear quartz, because it allows you, it's like a deeper connection to your spirit guides. London has a lot. Wow. I like to do a good obsidian as well. And a tiger's eye.
I have a red tiger's eye. This one I tumbled myself.
Now we're cleansing Cameron. I need it. Alright, so let's just speak to the cards a little bit. Hey.
Hey.
I know it's my first time using you. Please call from Cameron's spirit guides to come through and deliver us these messages that we need to hear. So we're gonna do, the first one we're gonna do is the situation, the obstacle, and the lesson.
Can I just pick the one that's calling me?
Yeah. Oh, you're not
I don't know what it means.
Situation. Okay, this is the situation. The next one is gonna be the obstacle. So just pick whatever calls to you. And the next one is gonna be the lesson. This one is just calling to me. What do you think about that one? So the first one is gonna be the situation. At hand, we have the sun. She's so cute. She's right side up, which is a good sign. So that's great.
Yeah, I love to hear all that.
Then the obstacle, I think, is what the other one was. So the obstacle is the 5 of Swords. In a general context, the 5 of Swords is not always a good omen, as it can represent defeat, change, surrender, and walking away. The advice of the 5 of Swords is to pick your battles. You may be tempted to fight every conflict to ensure you get your way, to prove that you're right, or defend yourself when you're feeling challenged. However, most experts agree choosing your battles wisely is a much better way of going through life. So, yeah. I feel like that was pretty spot on.
Yeah.
The moon, oh my god, the sun and the moon in one reading. You might be feeling restless, weird, and full of energy, so be spontaneous, do something crazy, trust your instincts. It'll lead you to new and possibly strange places, but be aware that waking up your wild side, you may wander into some dangerous places as well.
That was a great reading. What I'm taking from it is I really need to trust my intuition, and in order to do that, I really need to slow down, stop trying to do it all at once, chill out,
and stop feeling like you need to figure everything out, that you need to have the answers or something.
Yeah, the answers will come if I listen and trust myself and my intuition. And it also said that I need to go it alone, and like, yeah. Yeah. Do you have any breakup advice?
As much as you need to give yourself time to mourn, and it's important to have that time and to allow yourself to be sad and go through those emotions, I think that breakups are also like a catapult into a new era for anyone. Like, it is a new era, regardless if you were living with them or how serious a relationship was. Like, take time to like be excited. There's positive and negatives in any situation, and especially in a breakup, there's always going to be something positive that comes out of it that you may not see right away. So kind of just take the time to figure out what it is that you're taking from the relationship that you're gonna take as like a positive, either a lesson, or even if it was a terrible relationship and you had a really messy breakup, you can learn something from that and apply it into your life. So just kind of look for the lessons in it.
And even if you aren't going through a breakup, but you're still just doing it on your own, and you have been for a while, and you're trying to practice self-love and still just cope with that, I hope this video was helpful in that, because that's really what it's all about. Thank you guys so much for watching, and
we'll see you in the next video, Camily.